Coming up, expect more rain overnight, but changes are ahead.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. Rain continues to fall across the mountains tonight, and more showers are possible as you step out the door on Thursday. Meteorologist Evan Hatter has the very latest on this First Alert Weather Day. Evan.
Well, Steve, we do have some good news this evening. As of a few hours ago, the Weather Prediction Center actually removed us from their level 2 slight risk for excessive rainfall. Here's the outlook heading into the overnight. We are remaining in a level 1 marginal risk for excessive rainfall through the evening. We haven't seen necessarily a lot of rain. We've seen at most about 1.5 inches in many spots. In fact, many of us are catching a break at the moment. Yes, it's still raining in the Big Sandy at this point, but other areas are starting to see a few showers move back into the Cumberland Valley. However, a lot of us, at least are in the Kentucky River Valley, are a little bit drier right now, and that will continue for at least a little while longer. But more rain is on the way. We're not completely done just yet. A little bit of a dry slot working in, but we're not quite done yet. We could even see a few gusty winds across portions of the Cumberland Valley, especially right along the Tennessee border, heading later on into tonight. Temperatures remain low to mid 50s. It's been a mild one today. In fact, we're not far from our daytime highs at Jackson and London already. 49 as we head out there tonight with showers continuing. Details on when we dry out and cool down in a few minutes. Steve?
All right, Evan, thank you. The Hindman Post Office had its official reopening today, more than 4 months after historic flooding caused major damage to the building. And with Christmas just around the corner, Hindman community members are feeling grateful for the return of this service, adding that they are excited to have this convenience once again.
With the holiday shopping, you know, the post office is genuinely overran with business. A lot of people has ordered online and trying to get those last-minute Christmas gifts in, and it's going to be a lot more convenient for them to be able to come here.
The excitement for the post office's reopening will continue on Monday during the building's ribbon-cutting ceremony at 11 o'clock. Back in October, the Farm Ministry in Dayton, Virginia sent a truckload of supplies to help flood victims in Pike County. Now they are sending a second shipment. This time, the ministry loaded up 4 trucks full of toys, meats, food products, and more than 4,000 pounds of cheese. This donation will help provide Christmas presents and more than 58,000 meals to their community. They are hoping this will help Eastern Kentucky get through the winter.
We have to get them through the winter to where they can feed themselves, start projects, get chickens in, grow gardens, and get back to where they can help themselves and survive through their own initiatives.
The supplies will arrive Friday morning at a local food pantry where they will be able to help serve more than 500 families in the community. For flood victims in our region, there are still so many needs to be met, but one organization is doing its part to meet the most basic need, providing warmth to students this winter. The Kentucky Association of School Administrators is leading a coat drive for flood victims. They put out the call to districts across the state asking for donations. But as Amber Philpott explains, they could still use your help as we approach the holidays.
When historic flooding hit this summer in eastern Kentucky, it was hard to think about what winter would bring for those impacted, but now it's upon us.
It just spoke to my heart when one of our eastern Kentucky superintendents was like, you know, nobody's thinking about that. And if we have money for coats, then we can focus on food. So you're not talking about fancy needs. You're talking about your basic survival needs.
And that's what the Kentucky Association of School Administrators wants to provide through their coat drive. It put out a call to districts across the state to try and collect a new coat for children and staff in 30 schools across flood-ravaged eastern Kentucky. CASA Executive Director Rhonda Caldwell knows it is a tall order ahead of the holidays.
If we put math to the numbers, 5,700 children directly impacted by the flood, not counting the adults. If you average on a $40 a coat per coat basis, It's about $226,000.
Schools, though, know how to solve a good math problem, and Caldwell says they leaned into harnessing the power of school administrators like Jenny Lynn Hatter in Harrison County and the students there.
Well, immediately our little junior beta club said, we can do hats and scarves. And so kids are great. Kids are resilient, and they have ideas we've never thought of.
The donations of coats and hoodies have been coming in from districts all over.
When we have a crisis, a flood, a tornado, when we have something tragic or something good, we always look to our schools.
Through a partnership with the Bluegrass Community Foundation, Kentucky native Chris Stapleton and his Outlaw State of Kind Hometown Fund sent in $100,000, a huge boost to an effort ahead of the holidays to provide the gift of warmth.
To think about, we're going to be able to serve these needs in so many different ways, and they're still in need, and it still can be met. And I think it's part Christmas magic. It really is.
That was Amber Philpott reporting. CASA says the coat drive was inspired by the Letcher County superintendent, who says getting items like coats allows them to focus on other essentials for their students. There are several ways you can donate. Just look for this story on WYMT.com for more information. The Primary Care Centers of Eastern Kentucky has been working with resource centers from Knott, Perry, and Leslie counties, ensuring kids at every school in those 3 counties have presents to open on Christmas morning. Today, various resource center staff and school leaders picked up the gifts that were bought and wrapped for their students.
As our communities and families continue to recover from the flood, I know that the families will appreciate this so much.
Sims says they plan to distribute the gifts to the parents so they can give the gifts to their kids on Christmas. Kentucky State Police Post 9 hosted its Shop with a Trooper event this morning, bringing smiles to faces by bringing students to Walmart. The event works with school resource offices around the Big Sandy region, pinpointing students who would benefit most from a day of shopping with their local troopers. Trooper Michael Coleman says it's a way to show the human behind the badge while getting gifts under trees, and the community support makes it all possible.
Our fundraising events for Shop with the Trooper start just as early as January of next year to get ready for 2023. So if you'd like to make a donation or be involved in one of our fundraisers, just reach out to Kentucky State Police and see how you could help this program.
Trooper Coleman says it's always a blessing to be able to provide a Christmas to remember to kids in the Post 9 area. A nearly 5-year-old case in Whitley County involving a missing person has now been solved. The investigation dates all the way back to February of 2018. Laura Anderson was with her mother, got out of her car and left, and that's the last time her family says they saw her. Police say a group of children found her skull near a pond in Cleveland, Tennessee, and after police drained the pond, they say they found more of Anderson's remains. Her family says they do not know how she ended up nearly 150 miles away.
That we're glad she's here, that we found her, but we're trying to figure out how she got up in that area when it was supposed to have been in Whitley County area.
In 2019, police say Joseph Bauer confessed to helping hide her body, but they say they are still investigating who exactly killed her and how. They say they do have persons of interest. A Pike County man faces several charges after he was arrested last week. Shortly after 8:30 Friday evening, police responded to a welfare check at Harbor Freight on Weddington Branch Road in Pike County. During the investigation, police found 36-year-old Brandon Holbrooks. They say he had 3 active warrants. Officials also found several pills, suspected meth, and digital scales during a search. Holbrooks was arrested and taken to the Pike County Detention Center. Earlier today, Campbell County, Tennessee Sheriff Wayne Barton warned people about package thefts in the La Follette area. The sheriff says packages were stolen out of mailboxes in the Davis Chapel community. If you see a crime, you can report it by calling 423-562-7446. Coming up on Mountain News at 11, utility providers and customers across the Commonwealth are preparing for the January 1st launch of House Bill 8. We'll explain what it means.
Plus, more rain continues through early Thursday before Old Man Winter sweeps into town with his cold weather. The latest on the man's journey up ahead.